pardon me for always looking at my computer. I'm really not playing video games on the air today. I just have to keep looking off screen to see what the who the next caller is, and it looks like Dan has called back, and he's used the Google and discovered that there is some proof that God exists.
Okay.
On Google, no less. Who would have thought that? Dan?
Yeah, I thought that I would apply your guys the same idea to you that you said to me.
Yeah.
Is I Googled proof of God because that's more interesting than the lies on the atheist websites.
Yes.
And I, by the way, I don't appreciate being hung up on when I'm trying to have a conversation with you. It's very dishonest of you. I know it. And I
we are trying to do a show here and, you know, give everybody a chance to talk. Go on.
Well, I wanted to say that the evidence that I found is that according to allaboutcreation.org, the E. coli bacterial flagellum is irreducibly complex. Do you know what that means?
It means that that website is perpetuating a falsehood that was addressed
invented by Michael Behe and dealt with in the Kitzmiller versus Dover case, which basically laughed Behe out of court, almost.
Yeah,
conspiracy theory by the Christians, right?
But
help! There's proof of God on my head.
I don't know about conspiracy theory. I don't think I'd take it that far. But there are people who are spinning this nonsense that the bacterial flagellum could not have evolved, and they used that as an argument why it ought to be okay to teach creationism in public schools. Yeah, trying to say that that's evidence of creationism, and that argument was trotted out in the Dover, Pennsylvania evolution trial, Kitzmiller versus...
Yeah, right. That was in 2005?
And the creationists that trotted that out got laughed out of court.
Yeah, basically Michael Behe went up in front of the judge and he said there has been no papers written on the topic of how the flagellum could have evolved, at which point the opposing lawyer in a bit of courtroom theater walked in with this giant stack of like 20-something books and dropped it on the table in front of Behe and said, "Have you read these by any chance?" And Behe said, "No, I haven't gotten around to them."
Yeah.
When was that?
2005, Kitzmiller versus Dover, Kitzmiller.
If that was that long ago, and they already proved that it wasn't right, then why would allaboutcreation.org have that still on their main page?
What a softball question! Because the people who run creation, what was it? Allaboutcreation.org are idiots who don't care about the truth, is why.
You're just saying that because you disagree, and if anyone disagrees with you,
no, we're not just Dan. We're not just saying it because we disagree. We're saying it because that argument has been proved to be false, but there it is on that website. Now, I guess it's also possible they're simply not maintaining the site. It might be that they're not fools or liars. It could be that they just, ran out of money or lost interest and they're not maintaining their site and it's old information that hasn't been updated. That's possible.
Well,
you do find sometimes... I'm sorry?
The site was updated, in 2009 the site was updated, so...
okay.
Fools or liars then. I'm sorry. That is just an inescapable consequence of having a disproved claim still on their website.
Well, there's
it's not
more
just
than
because
that
we
on
disagree.
there. There's intelligent design, and there's proofs from nature and stuff. Maybe you should Google proof that there's a God, and then you should come back tomorrow and be like, sorry, I was wrong.
Well, we won't be on the air tomorrow, but if you would like to call back next week with your
we are the guys
proof.
who have known how to Google all along, and we've been all over more arguments for God's existence and for the proof of creationism and everything else that you could possibly imagine. We've been at this I've been at this for over 10 years, dude, and I'm just telling you,
That was like a couple of years after you, right?
I have seen, squillions of different arguments for God, and they all fall down. I've looked seriously. I don't mind believing in a God if there's evidence that there is one, but there's not.
People are spinning all the time.
I'm sorry?
You do have a problem with believing in God, because if there's a God, then you can't go around sinning all the time and just feel just fine about it.
That would be fine.
Is that what you would do if you didn't think there was a God? Is that the kind of
if there's a reason not to sin, then I just go around and like do whatever I want, and like gamble and curse and and whatever else I want.
You don't care about the actual consequences of your actions in the real world? The only reason you don't do bad things. Hey, caller, the only reason you don't do bad things is because of God? Is that really true?
If science is right, then the universe will eventually wind down to a heat death, and that means that nothing I will have ever done will ever matter, and I can just do whatever I want because nothing will matter at the point of the end of the universe.
And what you really want to do is a bunch of bad things?
Bad things that make me feel good. I don't care about if nobody else matters, and I don't care about what makes them feel good.
So nobody else matters to you.
If nobody else matters, like the...
No, to you.
We're out of time. You're going to have to call back next week. In the meantime, I've been forgetting to plug this, but come to Threadgills after the show and hang out with us if you want to. You know, bye, because there's the ending screen. We're out of time. Bye.